Good evening, sir. Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this live session. I welcome you all on the NPTEL live session for the course Fundamental of Sports Training, Load Management and Recovery. So this live session is meant to solve your queries and to interact and to know more about the concept if you are interested to know the practical application. So let me start the session by introducing myself and some points about the course. So my name is Kaustubh Chardai. I'm the resource faculty, co-resource faculty. I'm an exercise specialist with 10 years of work experience in the field of sports, fitness, and education. I have done my graduation from Griffith University, Australia, and currently I'm pursuing my master's in high performance training and coaching from Sitanta College. In my 10 years of careers, what I have done is I have trained athletes, I have trained non-athletes, and I have been teaching undergraduate student at the university level. Currently, I'm working with D.Y. Patel Deemed to be University School of Sports, Exercise and Nutrition Sciences, where I teach all skill-oriented courses. So my job is to make the students fitness professional, fitness coach ready for the job. And I've been given this opportunity to share my knowledge and experience on the great platform of NPTEL with to all the lovely audience and aspiring fitness and sports scientists. The aim of the course was not just to give you the fundamental information, but to ignite the curiosity and aspiration to become sports scientist. So the course is been divided into 8 weeks duration, as you know. I'll just quickly go through the distribution of the week-wise courses. In week 1, we covered introduction to fitness variable and acute training variables. And in week 2, it was elaborated with principles of training and periodization in sports training. Week 3, it was aerobic training methods and anaerobic training methods. Week 4, concept of the training load. Now, I would like to mention here that all this topic is been sequenced in such a way that you could able to relate and advance your understanding about the concept. So we started with knowing the fundamental acute training variable and fitness variable, and then how these fitness variables actually give you results is being covered, considering and covering the principles of training first, and periodization, which becomes the foundation of programming. On that, the next level is dividing the fitness variables into aerobic training method and anaerobic training methods. Here, what are the different stimulations that is being used to get an adaptation and the results if you want to improve your aerobic capacity or anaerobic capacity has been covered. Going to next level, week 4, the concept of training load. Here again, the idea that how important it becomes to monitor your weekly loads. And if you do not monitor the weekly load, what are the obvious consequences is being covered. And the term load, training load, is being defined as frequency, intensity, and volume. Okay, so using this concept, the training load, how do you monitor, be it aerobic training or anaerobic training? This is covered in week 4. In week 5, load monitoring methods in health specific fitness and sports specific fitness has been covered. And if you guys are doing strength and conditioning course at NPTEL, you may find this particular point overlapping, because the same concept has been covered in strength and conditioning, but over there it is elaborated in more detail, and this is considered as a supplement to that information. Week 6 is altogether different topic, which up till now, up till week 5, we covered sports training and load management. Week 6 is the starting and introduction of recovery methods. And recovery method starts by the concept of fatigue and overtraining, because the value of recovery, the importance of recovery is only understood when you know what is fatigue, where do you experience fatigue, how do you monitor fatigue, and overtraining. So the concept of fatigue and overtraining syndrome is first introduced, and two, it is connected with recovery technique. Followed by that, the to sum up the concept of load management and recovery is training program design and monitoring of training program. Now this is a very fundamental information given with respect to training program. Training programming is much more wider subject by itself, which wasn't the scope of practice of this course. So in week 7 we have touched base to how do you design a program using basic principles of FIDTVP and prioritization. And then week 8 is the entire program. Now it starts with introducing of fitness variable. Then it starts with how do you monitor it, what principles do you use, how do you monitor the fatigue, and at the end, now week 8 is meant for sports scientist or athlete or sports coach, where sports training, as in not just the skill oriented training but also physical fitness oriented training, what are the different technologies that can be used into your practice that has been introduced, and what are the current and future trends and innovation in sports training that has been introduced in week 8. So that's how we have made an 8 week of fundamental information regarding sports training, recovery, and load management. So this was a brief summary introduction about the course and myself. So now I would be open with the questions that you have, uh, and I would able to answer them. This question can be related to the topic that you have not understood. It can be related to the exam, or it can be related to an applied part. So I would like you to welcome all to start with the question answer sessions. Vignesh, sir, do they need to unmute themselves, or they have been given a authority to unmute?
They can able to unmute themselves.
Unmute, okay. So audience, please raise the question by unmuting yourself, or if you can also type your question in the chat box if you want. This live session is meant to discuss any questions, doubt, queries you have regarding the course.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, yes, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, my doubt is कि हम ये जो कोर्स के जो क्रेडिट पॉइंट्स हैं, सर हम इसको अपने कॉलेज की डिग्री में ट्रांसफर करा सकते हैं?
Not that I know completely ये answer, but I don't think so ये कॉलेज के क्रेडिट कोर्स में होता है. बट देन आपको आपके कॉलेज के प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेटर से कंसर्न करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि कुछ कॉलेजेस इलेक्टिव्स यूज करते हैं ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज के लिए. तो अगर आपका कॉलेज में फंडामेंटल ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स ट्रेनिंग, रिकवरी एंड लोड मैनेजमेंट ये कोर्स इलेक्टिव बोल के यूज किया गया है, ओके, सो वो क्रेडिट पॉइंट मिल सकता है, बट आपको वो आपके कॉलेज से कंफर्म करना पड़ेगा। नेपटेल ये नहीं करती है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
वेलकम।
Hello.
यस, यस मैम, प्लीज
Hello, sir.
आस्क
This is
क्वेश्चन।
Neha, Dr. Neha from Triple IT Bangalore.
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
Good evening, sir.
या,
It's nice interacting to you live,
यस
listening to
मैम,
you from a
लाइकवाइज,
long
यस।
time, and I find your lectures very interactive. Like I can feel like that I can connect with your examples and all.
थैंक
So
यू सो मच मैम,
it's
यस।
refreshing, like a long back, 10-15 years back, I have
ओके,
completed my course,
ओके।
Masters in Physical Education, and then
हम्म।
so I'm finding it's very helpful to recollect my memories throughout my college time.
Thank you so much for the feedback. And we are glad that we could make examples that we all almost can relate. And the
Yeah.
intention was to relate it to people who are doing fitness as well as professionals,
Yes.
be it teachers, be it sports scientists, as well as athletes.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So my question is I can see the whatever assignments you are giving to us, and we do solve, and we get that question
Hmm.
samples and the correct answer that solves sheets. But is there, apart from anything, you'll share like terms of any notes or anything, so that which may helpful for the exam if we go?
Okay. With respect to exam, ma'am, the questions would be similar to what is being done in the assignments, weekly
Okay.
assignment.
Okay.
But it also would cover a little more broader application part.
Okay.
Okay. So apart from the weekly video session,
Mm-hmm.
with respect to the question bank, if I'm understanding correctly, is it that you're asking for? So that you can.
Maybe any concrete notes that which you are sharing through your PPT, it is there in somewhere kind of uh,
I
like
understand. The thing is, the content is being created using all the references.
yes.
Okay. So if you could just very selectively tell me which area is that you want to read more, I can tell you what is the reference, and then you can read more about that.
Okay, okay, sure. I have some books like Bompa and all, whatever you have shared.
Mhm.
I have studied and I have that references. But I find that whatever the content you are sharing is something different from whatever we have studied during our time. So that's by
Okay.
that curiosity. So if I have the multiple notes, so it just help little more.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Giving apart from the video content, we do not
क्योंकि क्या
have
है ना कि
any.
जैसे कि कंटेंट राइटिंग एंड ऑल को जो भी एनपीटीएल पे था ना, तो उसमें वो लोग शेयर कर रहे थे, तो वी कैन कुड हैव टेक प्रिंट आउट एंड यूज दैट आल्सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम एग्जाम आल्सो. सो वो रेफरेंस होता है, तो वी कैन कीप इट प्रिंट आउट एंड रेडी फॉर एनी फर्दर और नेक्स्ट यूज आल्सो.
Okay.
It will
Okay.
add some more memories and more
More.
knowledge. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. I will note this as a feedback from you so that we
Sure.
can definitely put a little more extra writing material
Yes.
uh, to make a note easier for you. I will note this feedback, ma'am.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good
Sir,
evening, Dr.
myself,
Ajay.
Dr. Yes, sir, good evening, sir. Myself, Dr.
Yeah.
Ajay, and I'm working as assistant professor in MP Higher Education. And first of all,
Okay.
I would like to congratulate you for this such a wonderful course.
Thank you
And
so much. Thank you so much.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
That's great.
Sir, my doubts are regarding some week 7 content. Can you
Okay.
differentiate or can you elaborate? Uh, I want to ask you about what is the difference between overreaching and overtraining, and how non-functional overreaching is similar to overtraining in long term. Like I'm not able to
Okay.
got the concepts of non-functional overreaching and functional over,
Understood.
and how
Okay.
non-functional overreaching is somehow similar
Different.
to overtraining
Okay.
syndrome.
I guess we have answered your query, but then I guess you need a little more explanation with that.
Yes, sir.
So
Basically, I am from exercise physiology field, and I'm
understood,
very
understood. Hmm.
curious to know about this.
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll just hand over this question to our teacher assistant who have answered you that question. Alpesh, could you just
Yes.
answer this question? Since sir has answered this question of yours, I would request sir to elaborate the concept little.
Sure.
Over to you, Alpesh.
Okay, sure. So, see, overreaching and overtraining, before I explain you about this, I would like to tell you something about something which is optimal, something which is not optimal. Okay. Now, you being assistant faculty of exercise physiology, as you understand, there are some kind of your body need to store some kind of substrates which are used when you do the performance. If you do not have them, you won't be able to do perform. That we have something kind of fatigue theories and all, which have been already explained by Kerner. Okay, Colonel sir, I guess it is in week 6, right? So everything is kind of a correlated. Okay, our body has certain kind of a capacity in which we can actually perform better. Okay, now let's say like Kaustubh sir has also actually explained about the baselines. Okay, you go ahead. Okay, you create a baseline of a performance, a certain performance. That is something which is your capacity to do work. Okay, it can be anything. It can be the speed, power, or strength, anything as such. Okay, you have a certain baseline, or else you can say you have a certain capacity that is there because of the your body's capacity of storing your substrates and everything. Okay, that is how it works. Or else you can say several certain physiological aspects, such as sleep, nutrition, everything is correlated. Now what coaches do is, they want to extend their performance. So sometimes what they do is they kind of, like create a overload for them. Okay, so like let's say a person is giving his 100%. Like sometimes because he has a capacity, okay, he can go more than what he has actually. Okay, that is something that you can say as overreaching. That you can do something about, like, one day or max to max, like 1 week, in which you are not being physiologically impacted. Now in this also there are several conditions. Okay, your coach is telling you properly about your sleep, properly about your nutrition, everything is getting taken care of. He is monitoring your resting heart rate. There is no problem with your resting heart rate, no problem with your nutrition, no problem with your sleep. You're all right. You're able to handle that overreaching. You're able to handle that extra load which you are not able to do it before. Okay, that is something which you called as overreaching, by which you get adaptations, several adaptations that you get in your body. So for example, you say like you have a capacity of storing glycogen which was a certain capacity. Now you have more capacity of handling that kind of a work. Okay, the glycogen capacity becomes more. Now, because of which you get several adaptations in your body, and you would be able to lift more load. And this all the things are very much important in terms of performance. Now, what happens is when coach is doing this overreaching, sometimes it might be miscommunication, or sometimes a problem from the coach as well. Sometimes athlete might not be sleeping very well. Sometimes athlete might not be taking proper nutrition. Sleep is not well, not tracking resting heart rate. This might go into overtraining. Okay, now overtraining is something which in which you will have several kind of problems, in which well, like one of the big problem that I have seen when I was training athletes, your magnesium drops down. This is one of the biggest thing that I have seen. They would be able to feel anxiety problems, in which you will see a very funny thing that the life is going very happy, but still you will every time you will feel that you have anxiety or anything as such. Like everything is going smooth, life is very happy, but still you will feel like you have anxiety. Sometimes when it goes more, you want to talk but you won't be able to talk properly. Okay, then you won't be having proper sleep. If your athlete is not able to sleep since last 3 days 4 days, you should actually track all the things. And these are like a normal things, okay, that we track. If we go clinically, you can actually check your creatine kinase. Those are the levels that you can check. Okay, so that is how we differentiate the overreaching and over training. Okay, but in this, responsibility belongs to both of them. Responsibility is with the athlete also, responsibility is with the coach also. If though athlete is not following the guidelines, still it's coach's responsibility to track his resting heart rate. It's coach's responsibility to ask him what are the things happening, how you are doing things. His responsibility of checking his RP, responsibility of checking his velocity. Like there are devices of velocity based training by which also you can understand if a person is fatigued or not. Okay, so by several things, if a coach is good, he would be easily able to identify if a person is overtrained or not. So by this, you can actually differentiate the overreaching and overtraining. Okay. I hope so. I have answered your question. Let me know if you have any doubt.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, kind of, kind of.
Okay,
The
just
second thing, I'm having a series of questions.
no,
Okay.
please go ahead. We are here to
Okay,
I guess
have
Kaustubh
a
sir want to say something.
no, we
okay,
are
sir.
here to have the question answer session. You can just keep on asking the question. We are here to answer it.
Sir,
Uh,
okay, sir.
Before you go to the next question, what Alpesh sir has explained is how would you actually monitor overtraining and overreaching, and what is the difference between that monitoring part? Okay. Now I would also add to the answer. How do you actually practically do it? There are two aspects. Sometimes you definitely need to overload your athlete week by week, mesocycle mesocycle. Okay, this is something you do. And how would you do? I would just try to answer that. I hope you are clear with this. There are two different aspects.
Sir,
One is
I'm
monitoring.
I'm I'm clear with overreaching and training, but my actual doubt was what is the basic difference between non-functional overreaching and how it is similar to the overtraining symptoms or syndrome. As Colonel sir said in the class that this is somehow similar. I just want to know that how it can be similar. One is non-functional and this is overtraining. So, right, sir? Am I clear with my words?
I
Yes,
didn't get
yes.
your doubt, I guess.
Could
I
you just
said,
repeat the question again?
Yeah.
I said, Colonel sir said, non-functional overreaching is somehow similar to overtraining syndrome. How
Mhm.
and why?
So most probably the way you want to put it forward is functional overreaching is something wherein you can get the benefits out of it.
Non-functional.
No. I'm just
Non.
explaining it. I'm
Okay,
just
okay, right.
explaining. I can understand your question. What I'm saying is functional is something wherein you can get the benefits out of it. Non-functional is something wherein you are not getting benefits out of it. It is going something wrong and something different is happening. Okay, so that goes in the line of overtraining. Understood?
Okay, now I got it that if non-functional overreaching is there, that mean it suddenly going to turn out into the overtraining syndrome.
Exactly. So
Okay,
functional is what
okay,
like you are getting a benefit out of it. Non-functional is something wherein you're not actually getting a benefit for whatever you're doing it. It is like you want to do something, something different is happening.
okay, sir. Sir, second doubt is like when I read about overtraining in diagnostics, there
Mhm.
was like I want to put it forward like this. Like when I was searching for my PhD topic. I thought myoglobin content in the urine is might be a
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
can it be a variable for a marker that represents overtraining? As in the class, creatine kinase, heart rate variability, blood lactate hormone, and all this stuff was talked about. Uh, I'm willing to know about is myoglobin content in the urine can be a form of tracing the overtraining as the athletes is at elite level, the muscle marker which depletes is myoglobin. Am I right? Or like I want to ask you.
Have you gone through any researches about it?
Yes,
I
yes.
am asking because you have your it is your PhD topic. So have you
No, no,
found
no,
out
no.
any? Uh-huh.
I was curious to do this in my PhD, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, I did my work on muscle architecture. That is totally different field
Mhm.
in the field of physical education, exercise physiology. But I just wanted to add that myoglobin content is the another variable which can be used to identify the overtraining syndrome. Like,
So as of now, the way I have seen, there are no researches for it. But I have absolutely, I have to check if there is any. Like, I would be very much interested if there is any, and I would like to read about it also. Okay, but as of
basically,
now, the way I understand, like I read many books, being frank. So like as of now, I haven't seen anything content as such. But yes,
they
it's like
basic,
I would surely like to read about it, and if there is any, I will surely get back to you.
well, basically there was a line written there that the specific gravity of urine changes. The
Mhm.
specific gravity of urine changes just because of the presence of myoglobin content.
Mhm.
See, I belong to Haryana, and when I
Mhm.
was in my younger days, I was practicing with wrestlers.
Mhm.
Sushil Kumar, Amit Dhankar, all these were my senior, and they told me at very young age that जब हम बहुत ज़्यादा practice करते हैं, our urine doesn't fall
Mhm.
too much away. It suddenly falls in front. So that
Mhm.
is the topic I was having in my mind, and when I read about overtraining syndrome by Colonel Sir, I was thinking there should be myoglobin content as a variable.
Surely, we would also like to read about it. But as of now, like the way I have seen in any books, it has been not mentioned. But yes, we would like to explore about it more, and would like to get back to you
Okay,
about it for
sir,
sure. And
my
haha,
third question, sir. My third question
yes.
is, uh, through many of books I've been through, Catch and Catch, Wilmore, like there is always a concept of neuromuscular fatigue, right?
Yes.
There was a concept of neuromuscular fatigue, and in that lecture that was written in the MCQ also, it was given that there is no fatigue at neuromuscular junction. So
Okay.
that was
Mhm.
contrary to my knowledge. I just want to ask you why it was written like there was no that much explanation over in the lecture. Basically, what I draw idea from it, like when a muscle works, the lactic
Mhm.
acid which is drawn out from the muscles is getting accumulated between the synaptic cliff or the region which doesn't allow the neurotransmitter to communicate with muscle. So there was the reason there was a neuromuscular fatigue, but as sir told, there was no neuromuscular fatigue. So I am like contrary with my thoughts. Can you spread light on it,
Mhm.
like why it was said?
Most probably the message that sir want to convey would be something different. What the way I have read the slide, it is saying that like there is no fatigue at neuromuscular junction.
Yes, yes.
So most probably he want to convey that the main reason is something different. It is not the only neuromuscular junction. It might be something different. It is. So I have to get back to the
I,
slides actually. Uh-huh.
I felt the same as there was ambiguity
Mhm.
because several
Mhm.
books which I have referred, it clearly mentions that there is a neuromuscular junction where lactic acid or some several H plus ions accumulate and doesn't allow the proper neurotransmitter communication. Anyway, sir, the third,
Okay.
the last is my
Mhm.
request that I have, because of my election duty and this stuff, I wasn't able to fulfill my uh, second week
Assignment.
assignment. Sir, is
Mhm.
there any chance so that I can get back to it and fill it?
Mm, actually, we do not have any facility because it is automated. Okay, this the weekly assignments are automated. As of now, we the answer is that you cannot redo it. But then I guess we have answered your question there also. But since you are asking that again, we will definitely get back to the administration with the exam section part, and I will give you the answer at a personal level on your email, okay, or at the forum.
Okay, right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay.
much, sir. It was
Yes.
nice talking to you. Just I want to share my PhD which I had done.
Okay.
Basically, if you are willing to listen, I can.
Sure. Sure.
Sure, sure.
We would like to know that part, but then before you go ahead, I would want to ask the audience, if you have any query, you can just text, and so that I can just quickly go one by one if you are in queue. Otherwise, just simply unmute yourself and then you can ask the questions. uh, yeah, yes, Dr. Ajay.
Basically, sir, while I was growing up, there was a doubt in my mind that why biopsy need to be the gold standard for identifying the muscle fiber. right? Muscle biopsy is the gold standard to identify the
Okay.
fiber type, red and white.
Mhm.
So what I did is like I did try to find the other way so that we can identify the muscle fiber type. There are other many ways: tensiomyography, genetic analysis. There are field tests also. What I did is I looked for the muscle architecture. Muscle architecture is nothing but refers to the muscle fiber arrangement, like how the muscles fiber is arranged in pinnated or unipinnated muscles. So I find what I personally find out that the lesser the pennation angle will allow the athlete to be in the fastest time, and greater the physical length will allow the athlete to like have the better force velocity. So these are the some findings which I draw from my PhD, that muscle architecture can be a new and non-invasive method to identify the muscle fiber type.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. From where you have done your PhD?
I have done my bachelor's, master's, and PhD from LNIP Gwalior.
Under which professor?
I did my work basically with Jhanjariya sir, but my work was mainly done under the supervision of Dr. Sapna Somani, who is a radiologist.
Okay, mean you are talking about the physiology aspect, no? That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for allowing me. Thank you.
Thank you so
Dr.
much,
Ajay,
Dr. Ajay.
just
Yeah.
one thing I want to clarify. That neuromuscular fatigue, I'll just check and I'll get back to you. Okay, what it is. Just like I just wanted to confirm. Okay, just once. Okay, and I'll get back to you by email if you don't mind.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Would love to
Okay.
connect with you, sir.
So
Thank you.
yeah, sure. So because like I'll just check out like what is exactly it is. I'll just go through once again. Okay, and I'll get back to you for about it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
if
sir.
possible,
Actually,
can you
sir,
drop your email address into the chat box so that we can
right.
get back to you
Uh,
from the official email address.
Alpesh sir,
Uh,
we will just discuss this in the forum so that everyone can have an overview about this question and what exactly is the answer about.
Sure.
We'll
Okay.
discuss
Yeah.
it in the forum, sir.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. We are ready for the next questions and discussion. Okay.
Guys, if you have any kind of a questions, please let us know. This is a time when you can ask a question, and
Yes.
obviously we can tell you the answers. Normally, what happens in online, this is what I feel like in online courses, like you won't be able to interact with faculties much. We have so much to give you, but like you should open up. That is what I want to say. Okay, if you have a doubt, you can just simply tell us, and we will surely able to answer you. And I should actually thank Kaustubh sir. I should actually thank Colonel sir, because you see so many universities and everything. Very have seen very less people who are sharing this much of knowledge. Okay, and I should thanks NPTEL. Okay, because of them, like so much of knowledge which is getting shared to so many people. In terms of sports science, the knowledge was very much limited when I came to the industry. Okay, now there is enough of knowledge which is getting shared by the professionals. You should actually make a use of it. Okay, and if you have any kind of a doubt, surely you can ask. We have Dr. Kaustav, we have you have me, you have like many other faculties that we have. So you can simply ask first. All right.
Okay. Just to keep the discussion a little more alive, I would like to ask you questions. Could you able to relate to yourself to your workout? It's okay if you are not exercising, you may be sedentary, okay, but if you are exercising currently, could you able to relate the concept of FIDTVP and write yourself your weekly routine of FIDTVP and identify, okay, I'm not giving any kind of stimulation. Okay, what is, I'm giving same type of stimulation for so many months. You can also share your experience with respect to that. That would be itself a learning application. So that's what the whole concept of applying acute training variable in your workout. Look, all the principles are only words if you do not know how to practically apply it in your work setting or to your own fitness routine. Okay, so this is the very fundamental principle, application of FIDTVP, acute training variable. So try to just relate to that and tell me what were the different kind of stimulation you were giving, or you realize that, okay, I was giving only one kind of stimulation. This is an open discussion, not a question and answer.
Basically, should we discuss?
Yeah,
I guess
please
only
go ahead.
Dr. Ajay workouts.
Yeah, because the intention
passing out.
is,
I think this
yeah,
is a problem of our field, like physical education and sports, that people don't open up very easily. They won't able to share their thoughts.
no, ma'am,
That's true.
that's because I can absolutely relate. Unless I came in this field,
Yes.
I was very shy.
Yes.
I was not talking. But अभी इतना बात कर सकता हूँ कि कैमरा बंद करना पड़ता है. Okay, so I can absolutely relate. This is what I try to
I
teach
think
my
the
students.
problem is we don't have whole knowledge of a topic. Like we study physiology, kinesiology, biomechanics, rehabilitation, but ऊपर से पढ़ते हैं, superficially पढ़ते हैं. हमको depth knowledge नहीं होता है. That's why any discussions or any open up platform if we are getting or provided by so वो confidence नहीं आता है
वो
open
आता
up
नहीं
करने का.
नहीं, that's the reason this is made as a practice session कि अभी के लिए ना FITT-VP में T मतलब टाइप है जो स्टिमुलेशन है.
हाँ.
ओके, आप you may have exercised sometimes in your life or career, or you may be exercising currently. बस
हाँ.
उसको रिलेट करके
हाँ.
ये बताओ कि ओके मैं कौन सा स्टिमुलेशन दे रहा था या दे रही थी. So like as before learning sports science or before learning a detailed or advanced application of the principle of training, I realized that I was knowing only one kind of workout, that is resistance training. And उसके अंदर I was not knowing anything else. रेजिस्टेंस ट्रेनिंग से मल्टीपल रिजल्ट मिलते हैं. किसी को फैट लॉस मिल रहा है, किसी को मसल गेन मिल रहा है, किसी का पावर इंप्रूव हो रहा है. अलग अलग एक्सरसाइज दे रहे हैं, बट दैट आई वाज नॉट नोइंग व्हाट टाइप ऑफ स्टिमुलेशन आई वाज गिविंग. सो दैट वाज फनी फॉर मी टू रियलाइज दैट मुझे लगता था मुझे सब कुछ आता था, बट देन नाउ विद द कोर्सेस लाइक व्हाट आई डिड इन माय ग्रेजुएशन, इट सिंपली हेल्प मी टू कैटेगराइज. ओके, पावर का स्टिमुलेशन होता है, कंडीशनिंग का होता है, and the whole purpose what I tried to deliver is to make us aware. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि अगर पावर डेवलपमेंट करना है, कंडीशनिंग डेवलप करना है, कि अलग अलग स्टिमुलेशन होते हैं. मुझे वो स्टिमुलेशन बस अगर पता हो, फिर you can play with yourself.
Like currently I'm doing with flexibility and strength. Earlier I was doing conditioning, stamina and all, so many things. मतलब खिचड़ी टाइप का, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है. अभी I know कि I need flexibility and strength.
So can you tell when you are doing everything, was that an exercise or was that a physical activity?
Physical activity.
Absolutely correct, ma'am. So this is what the purpose of covering the course is. to make people aware, because people think that they are doing exercise,
No.
but वो exercise होती नहीं है, because it is not progressive overload, it is not repetitive. You are
Hmm.
not monitoring your fitness level, so how are you saying that you are exercising?
Hmm.
And
बिकॉज
we
कोई
need
गोल
to,
नहीं था ना. इफ आई वॉज डूइंग बीपी, इट वॉज लाइक कि हाँ चलो बस सुबह जाना है, ग्राउंड पे दौड़ना है, कुछ खेलना है, वापस आ जाना है, 10 बजे जाना है, अगेन क्लास करना है, फिर 3:30 पे अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन खेलना है. इट वॉज लाइक फिक्स बन रहा है, बस वी आर डूइंग दैट इज इन टाइम टू टाइम. दैट्स इट.
correct,
It was not at all goal oriented.
correct. So I hope, guys, if you could just apply this, trust me, your training session would be very fun. I believe it is, but आप लोग मुझे बताओ वो fun है कि नहीं है. Anything else you would like to discuss, or you have any more queries?
Sir, I had a doubt, sir.
Yes,
Um,
please go ahead.
Sir, earlier, sir, in the first week, when where you were talking about the health specific fitness and sports specific fitness,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that in sports specific fitness, you have like told us that there is one thing called conditioning. Like we have,
Mm-hmm.
like I have, like in my graduation, I have studied that there are six sports specific fitness variables, and they were power, speed, agility, coordination, balance, and reaction time.
Hmm.
But when you you were taking lectures, you told us that there is one more thing called conditioning. But I couldn't
Hmm.
find anything about conditioning, on Google and all. So
Okay.
like
Okay. Well, there is a reference that we have mentioned in the slide
NSCA,
with respect
right?
to condition. No, 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 no. It is application and principle of HIIT science by Paul and by Mr. Paul. The author name is Paul.
Okay,
You look that, that is the reference that I have used to introduce the concept of conditioning.
okay, sir.
It is not there in the very like famous international certificate organization. It is not there.
Yeah. Actually, sir, I have studied ACSM earlier in my graduation, and
Hmm.
at that time I couldn't find about conditioning, right? I have
Yes.
studied about reaction time, and then
Hmm.
you introduced to conditioning, so I was confused a little bit for some time.
Okay, but I hope you have an understanding clear about what is condition, what are different types, what are the intensities and different stimulation.
Yeah, like after taking your lecture, sir, I was able to understand.
Okay, that's great. So
And
you can just read more. It's a very like very fat book, application and science of HIIT.
okay,
Okay, so it's one of its kind of, which is for the conditioning. You will enjoy reading it. It's a little difficult topic, so in case you're reading and you have queries, you can just reach out to us, reach out to me.
okay, sir. Sir, one more doubt I have. Actually,
Hmm.
sir, I am currently pursuing my master's in sports biomechanics from
Okay,
Guru Nanak Dev University, right? So
okay,
like
okay.
earlier my plan was to do strength and conditioning. Like my
Hmm.
personal interest, like my मतलब जो है जिसे कहते हैं ना कि एक पर्सनली कनेक्ट जिससे तुम करते हो, तो वो मेरा स्ट्रेंथ
Hmm.
एंड कंडीशनिंग है.
Okay,
तो मतलब मेरे को स्ट्रेंथ एंड कंडीशनिंग पूरे इंडिया में कहीं मिला नहीं ऐसा सच कोर्स, तो मतलब तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि
hmm.
ईयर वेस्ट ना हो, इसकी वजह से मैंने बायोमैकेनिक्स ले लिया. बट
Okay,
राइट नाउ मैंने सोचा कि बायोमैकेनिक्स के साथ साथ आई विल परस्यू लाइक एनएससीए सर्टिफिकेशन, राइट?
okay.
तो बट एनएससी के सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए सर मेरे को ना एक राइट पाथ नहीं मिल रहा है. लाइक एक होती है ना, एक डायरेक्शन होती है कि एक मतलब एक बुक्स मिल जाए एक प्रॉपरली, क्योंकि बुक्स बहुत सारी है और कुछ
Hmm.
ऐसा ऑनलाइन मेरे को वो नहीं मिल रहा कोचिंग
Okay,
मटेरियल की
okay,
जो एक पाथ दे दे.
okay.
So,
So I would just like to guide with respect to career orientation. I would take this question that way.
okay,
Now,
sir.
with respect to strength and conditioning, there are international organization that provide strength and conditioning certificate.
Yeah, sir.
What you have to do is you have to register yourself, buy the study material. They have exam preparation practice session, and then you give the exam.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the another aspect is you enroll for the strength and conditioning certification. There is an organization in India that provides tuition for that as well. tuitions for the practical aspect, the exercise form and technique with respect to power, speed, agility. That is also
Okay, sir.
taught. Okay, so you enroll for the course, you give the exam, you get the certificate. The third option is the very short. You just enroll for the level course, so strength and conditioning course. They give you an online video just like this course is. You go through the videos, then you attend 2 or 3 days of workshop. Okay, and then you complete the assignment, and then you get the certificate. So there are 3 options currently in India,
Okay, sir.
which
Sir,
you can choose.
the second option, which organization does that? The tuitions, which organization provides?
It's NSCA India in Mumbai.
NSC India in Mumbai. Okay, sir.
Yes, yes, they provide that. So you will get this information more on Google. But then that's how you should be. You can gain your certification in strength and conditioning. Just enroll for strength and conditioning certification, and you will get the correct required study material to increase your understanding of strength and conditioning.
Okay. Sir, one more thing, sir. Like I have many doubts, right? For mostly
Hmm.
career, right? क्योंकि सर इस
Okay.
एज में करियर रिलेटेड होते ही हैं सर
Yes, yes, yes.
तो सर मेरा डाउट ये था कि लाइक आई नो कि मेरे को एसएनसी लाइक मतलब एसएनसी मेरे को आगे फ्यूचर में करना है बट राइट नाउ आई एम स्टडिंग बायोमैकेनिक्स लाइक बायोमैकेनिक्स इज आल्सो अ वेरी वास्ट फील्ड लाइक आई एम
Hmm.
स्टडिंग फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ
Hmm.
बायोमैकेनिक्स सो एंड लाइक बहुत सारी बुक्स हैं ह्यूमन मोटर कंट्रोल बहुत लाइक
Hmm.
वास्ट सब्जेक्ट्स तो
Okay.
मेरा लाइक मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम बायोमैकेनिक्स को पढ़ने में ही जा रहा है तो लाइक मेरे को क्या स्ट्रेंथ एंड कंडीशनिंग को अपना गोल बनाना चाहिए कि या बायोमैकेनिक्स को मेरे को अपना ये बनाना
Okay.
चाहिए
Okay. Uh, Yash ji, I would request you that we would discuss this personally one to one, not on this platform, because
श्योर
career
सर
counseling takes a lot of time. I take 1 hour to the students with the parents discussing same. So you can connect me over my number. I'll give you my number and we'll discuss over there.
ओके
Okay?
सर थैंक यू सर
Yes. Any other questions related to the topic or its application or what difficulty you have faced? जरूरी नहीं है हम लोग इंग्लिश में बात करें, आप लोग हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हो। मुझे हिंदी मराठी आती है बस। अल्पेश सर, अगर आप कोई अदर लैंग्वेज आती है तो आप बोल सकते हो, सो दैट आप वो लैंग्वेज में आप क्वेश्चन पूछे।
आपको जो लैंग्वेज में बोलना है बोलो, अगर हम समझ सकते हैं तो हम जरूर आंसर देंगे. If you
यस
understand you, we can obviously like answer your question. But yes, please ask questions. Okay, because like this is today is the day when we came online now. So like we should have some kind of interaction so that we can understand you what is your understanding about the course, where we can make any changes, or where we can do something so that it would be good for you. So that's why I'm asking, like you should open up, then only like we can help you out.
Basic.
Hi, sir.
Can
Myself,
I?
Venkatesh.
Thank you so
गुड
much,
इवनिंग
Venkatesh.
वेंकटेश।
Very happy
या
to
Yeah,
hear you.
just one concern. I did my bachelor's in physical education and I did my NIS in athletics. So right now I'm working as a athletic coach come PE teacher. So my concern basically while facing this online classes is the only thing, if you could arrange any offline sessions, that would be great, sir. Like after completion of like this much weeks, 1 week or maybe 2 days or 3 days or something, if we can meet offline, it will be great. Like to interact with the people, especially like your coaches, or it will be great thing, right?
Okay,
No, my
okay, sir.
concern,
I
this is
will
just
note
a
it down as a
concern.
feedback. Yes, yes, sir. I believe that this course is because it is online. The purpose is to reach to maximum audience,
Yeah.
and I guess NPTEL has been doing a very elaborative and smart work to conduct exams this way, because
Exactly.
every semester there is not thousands but in lakhs.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they do in a very systematic way. I believe that I'll just definitely share the feedback to the administration management team. If just like exam, if it is possible, we can conduct an offline lecture at different centers of NPTEL.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your feedback.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, can I talk?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, during the lecture about the recovery types, right?
Oh, okay.
The active and the passive type of recovery. Uh, well, I came across a technique known as the Valsava maneuver, which is kind of respiration technique which allows your heartbeat to get down, and
Mm-hmm.
I find it very useful. I have done it with my own, practiced it, and it while like I was playing handball or basketball, after a fast break, the heart always goes to a shoot. But while returning back, I must advise or I should tell the coaches that while an athlete is returning from his shot, he or she particularly should close his or her nose and mouth and try to forcefully expire, and which will allow the athlete to control his or her heart rate, uh, and which can allow that particular athletes to re-energize. Like this was the technique, Valsava maneuver. I would like you, uh, Alpesh and Kaustubh sir, please integrate this technique in recovery methods.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this experience. This is what how you expand our knowledge and application in sports sciences. Now, what we have to do is, we as a sports scientist, it include all of us, like more like as you mentioned, you are a PhD scholar. We have the audience in which they're already a PT teacher. So whatever technique or method we know, unless we do not structure into a research and publish it, it doesn't become a theory. It is not accepted. Okay, so what we need to do is, this is what the development is, for us to include into the theoretical concept of recovery techniques. We have to make a evidence out of that. That's only then we can start using it. As a coach, there are so many methods that actually work, but because it is not being published, not many people know, and it is not accepted. So I guess the way to actually introduce this, like for look, why we need to give a reference for each and everything. Any topic, every topic that we have done on the platform, NPTEL platform, we have given a reference. The reason being to make a clear cut understanding that I have a method of training. It is not mine. It is that someone else, and it is recognized at an international level or ex-national level. Why? Because it has been published in the research articles. When it is published, it means whatever method that you are telling, you have proved it. Okay. Otherwise, there are so many coaches that have their own technique, and it works for them. But then, does it work for everyone else? We need to prove it through conducting a correct research and publish it. Okay, so I would definitely want to know more about this method. If you have any research evidence which you have developed or you have come across, saying that using this Vassalva manual between the conditioning session is more effective or equally effective in compared to having a passive rest.
Yes, sir, there are some of researches done in Europe or USA or other countries में हुई
Hmm.
हैं, and I feel like Indians are not reading it or not implementing it. I read it and I tried it, so that's why
That's great.
basically it's a established fact that Valsova manure
Hmm.
is like used by weightlifters,
Hmm.
basketball players. So like it's a simple technique just to close nose and mouth and push your glottis as hard you can.
Hmm.
Basically, the
Hmm.
pressure difference shifts and it allows your heart to like calm. Basically, it was a technique used to treat tachycardia, and it was then used to in sports for recovery methods.
Material
So I was
methods.
thinking it can be it can be there in our course also.
Sure, sure. I will read that about more, and I would definitely add as one of the modality in recovery.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Anybody else
And
have any doubt? If you have any doubts in any kind of a language, still you can ask. कोई भी doubt हो. See, never think a doubt is silly. Okay. Any doubt is a doubt only. Okay. So just ask. If though it is very small doubt, big doubt, doesn't matter. You should ask. So if possible, I would be very happy if you guys like Girdhari Lal, Muthu, Damodaran, or all you guys will be open up like this conversation would be interesting. We would be able to understand you guys more. We would be able to understand what is your understanding level for the course. Okay. So if you guys can open up, it will be much more better.
no worries. I will just conclude this question answer session with a brief information about your final exams. Your final exam would be of 50 marks and it would be MCQ oriented. Now, around 25% of the questions you may find same or of similar question that you have encountered in the weekly assignment. Okay, and 50% is a little applied part, and 25% may be something related to the topic that is covered in the course, but uh, a very advanced applied part. Okay, so these are the three different level of question that you will be asked uh, uh, in the exam, and there will be total of 50 questions. Okay, so I guess I would like to thank everyone for giving your time for attending this live session. I'll be signing off from my end, from me and my team, Alpesh and Ashish. They are the teacher assistants. Uh, Alpesh sir has been answering your queries on the forum very rigorously. Ashish sir is helping me with the setting up the question papers and translation part. And I have been, me and Colonel Dr. Anup Krishnan, we have worked in the previous 6 months to make this content. Thank you so much for coming here again, and all the best for your exams.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.